Just added some coolant to the engine. Did an oil check. These are the basic, couple of the basic checks you're supposed to do on the engine. After my Willow Wren course, I'm now less confident than I was before.
More confident?
Well, I'm more confident in what I'm doing, but I'm less confident in what I've done. So yeah, the engine's gonna need some maintenance soon in the form of an oil change and a fuel filter change and a general kind of cleanup. But it's been running okay for the last little while. So, well, since we got it. So we're gonna trust it for now and hope it doesn't break for us in the middle of the tunnel. Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Today we're up fairly early for us and we are starting the big push to Bristol, which we hope to get to within the next 10 days.
15.
So that we can get back to Reading by the end of October. October. We're not getting stuck on the Kennet and Avon, so we can go up the freaking 7. And we are going to actually reach the peak of the Kennet and Avon. So all this time we've been climbing. I think we've got 6 or 9 more locks to go up, and then we'll start to come down. And also we've got our very first tunnel to go to.
Yeah, which is described in our Nicholson's guide as a short tunnel, and it's only like 5 football fields long. So first one, short, good.
Before we go, we need to fill up our water tank while we're at Great Bedwyn, and obviously empty our liquids tank and get rid of our rubbish.
Yep, so that's what we're about to do.
Seriously? I'm still warm.
First lock, and just as we were coming out we spotted a hire boat setting off, so we were like, oh good, we'll have someone to do the locks with. But then just as Michael was going past them, well, like before he got to them, they started pushing off like into his path, so not the best start. I'm just walking ahead to set it for them, although 2 boats have come down, so hopefully it's already set in our favour, and George is loving his life. We're now doing the Crofton flight. The hire boat have stopped because they're going to look around the pumping station, which is here, which is probably pretty interesting. We're really near the peak. I think there's 3 more locks to go till we're at the peak, and then the tunnel, and then we start coming down again. I have to say the peak's pretty disappointing. Like, we were expecting to get to like a mountain summit, but these last locks are really, really shallow, so bit of an anticlimax. And so we've decided we're going to look at the pumping station on our way back, and check to see if there's any days that we can come through when it's actually pumping. We are halfway up the Crofton flight, and there was a little like cruiser, GPR, GRP, I should learn what they're called, boat, that ended up waiting for us so that we can share the locks and save water, so that's really good. But it does mean that we have to tie on using our bow line as well, so we don't squish them in the lock with our big heavy boat. So we've got to the top of the Crofton flights, and we're at the peak of the Kennet and Avon. This is as high as we're going to get. The next lock we get to, we're going to be going down instead of up, which will be strange. And now we're about to do our first tunnel. So just as we were about to go in the tunnel, we spotted a boat coming through the other way. So we've just pulled over to the side to wait for it to come through. Oh, and we've read the sign that says we're strongly advised to wear our life jackets, so we've quickly put our life jackets on. How was your first summer?
It was really nice. As I mentioned before, I'm something of a spelunker,
I don't know what that means.
a cave person, a person who goes in caves, a caveman. But it was good fun. It was really nice. I liked reading the thing that talked about the two Bruces who were instrumental in allowing this tunnel to be drilled. And I liked seeing the chains on the side of the wall that were used to pull the boats through. And the tinsel somebody wrapped around the midway point. All right, we're being chased by some people who are in a hurry, so I'm gonna cruise on. Crank it!
So after travelling uphill for months and months and months in Reading, well, 2 months, we're now travelling downhill, and it's really strange. And we're remembering how much nicer it is to go downhill than uphill. Apart from the fact that we got to this lock and it was empty, so we're just filling it again. And the hire boat that we did the first half of the trip with have caught up with us again, so we're back doing locks with them. And we're at Brimslade Lock 53, and it feels like we're in the middle of someone's farm, but it's really quaint and really cool. Also, this happened. We got a Muddy George. So it's like 5:30 now, and we've been going for hours and hours and hours. I know.
7 at least.
So we're just enjoying the smell of the countryside. I feel like we're in proper countryside now.
Smells like horse's patoot.
And this pickled hill over there.
That way. No idea why it's been pickled, but probably just drank too much.
And we want to find a mooring fairly soon.
Yeah, before the sun goes down. We got at least a couple of hours before that happens.
And it's been a good day.
It's been nice.
So that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And we had a really long day's cruise from Great Bedwyn to Honey Street, and then it was like something like 14 locks and as many miles. I don't know how many miles it was. It was a long way.
Long way. We stopped outside the Barge Inn, which we neglected to visit. We will have to visit on the way back.
Everything we're visiting on the way back, like the pumping station.
Yeah. It was really busy the day that we arrived. Like there was somebody sitting outside with a sewing machine making new panels for their cratch cover.
That's what she was doing.
Yeah, it was.
So we had a day here yesterday and just did some work on the boat.
And we found a George that was limping.
Yeah, he's hurt his paw and we don't know how. He's a bit of a hobbler.
He's really limping quite a bit. So He's in a bit of distress and he's in a bit of pain. And he didn't eat the three-legged cat, but he pretended to be a three-legged dog. Like, we pulled up, we jumped off the boat to moor up, and immediately this little three-legged kitten bounds over the side of the ledge here, where there's a little forest, and just runs up to me and starts like petting me as I'm trying to hammer in the mooring pin. And it took us, I walked down to the pub to see if anybody knew where this three-legged cat had come from, because it looks like a kitten, and it's got no collar, no nothing.
But it's obviously a boat cat because it was on and off our boat.
Yeah, and it was obviously well kept. It was just
including going down into the boat and meeting George and then running out really fast, which was funny.
That was hilarious. Yeah, and I just walked up the towpath and found the boat, and it's like, here's your cat back. And it was pretty cool, but at the same time, like, yeah, maybe George is trying to imitate the amputation thing.
Yeah, so today we're heading on to Devizes, which is only about 2.5 hours, and miraculously for the Kennet and Avon there's no locks, so that's really good, so we can just keep George on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, even if there was locks, I think we'd keep him on the boat today. And then we've got an appointment at a vet's in Devizes
this evening. So we've got to get down there and get a mooring.
And then, after Devizes,
there's the Caen Hill flight.
Woohoo.
Which we may or may not be on tomorrow, depending on what happens tonight with the vet.
Which is going to be 29 locks in one day. Although Caen Hill's only like 16 locks or something, or 19 locks.
It's more than a few.
We need to do our research.
Yeah.
But yeah, today Honey Street to Devizes. So we arrived in Devizes around lunchtime.
Yep, Devizes Wharf.
We arrived in the rain, so the last bit of the journey was a bit miserable, and was touch and go whether we'd find somewhere to moor, but we're on these really nice 72-hour moorings, and Michael did the most amazing parking
job.
Like, there's an inch either side of our boat.
Video to be shown. Not of the parking job, well, yeah, but she'll show you how close they are together.
So took George to the vet, and he's just got some soft tissue damage, so he's got some anti-inflammatories. So
Thinks he'll be fine in a few days.
That's good news.
So Caen Hill flight, we think tomorrow.
Yep. It's about a mile that way, although there's 6 locks between
us and there.
Yeah, so 29 locks tomorrow maybe.
Yep.
And we feel like we're like rushing through because we're in our push to get to Bristol.
And back.
So we're rushing through, but the idea is that we'll stop at all these places for longer on the way back.
And actually visit them and see what they're for. Because, like, there's a museum here in Devizes that sounds pretty interesting. And over that way is a battlefield where the Roundheads were defeated by the Royalists during the English Civil War.
So yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Devizes.
And that's the end of the vlog.
Really good bakeries. Like, just...
My arm's
I don't know what was on that cheese bun.
I can't do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, today we're going to reach the peak of the Kennet and Avon. So
we're going to go through our first tunnel.
I haven't finished.
She hasn't finished.